Welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show. You're watching See the Stories. We've always been discussing about how to actually reduce plastic waste, right? But I guess to use single-use plastic, which is like bottles or maybe plastic bags when you go shopping or throw away trash, it's not very easy to do because plastic is an integral part of our life. Don't you think so?
It still is, right?
We're trying to, like, not we, I mean, for my study case, me and myself in the family, try to, as you say, to reduce the function of plastic, but still, we need to use plastic every day at some part of our lives at home.
Part of our life, that's right. All right, so now, well, before this, I scrolled on social media and found an NGO that would turn plastic waste into fuel. So let's have a see first.
Sekarang harus percaya sih, mesin jet plastik ini memang benar bisa olah 1 kg sampah plastik jadi 1 liter solar. Kali ini, jenis plastik yang dimasukkan ke mesin jet plastik adalah jenis plastik PP dengan total kurang lebih 10 kg. Proses dimulai dari jam 8.59 dan saat suhu mencapai 300 derajat, solar sudah bisa dihasilkan. Solar yang dihasilkan ini berwarna kuning kecoklatan yang jernih dan sangat cair. Untuk kualitas solar yang dihasilkan juga sudah teruji oleh Lembaga, lembaga minyak dan gas bumi. Bahkan setan numbernya lebih tinggi dari Pertamina Dex dan Dexlight.
Ya, untuk hari ini jam 2 kurang 5 menit pengolahan sudah selesai. Dari pengolahan sampah plastik 10 kilo, ini total solar di sini mencapai 10,25.
Menariknya, dari proses kali ini juga menghasilkan residu sebanyak 1,1 kg. Residu ini tentunya bisa dimanfaatkan kembali untuk merchandise, briket, hingga media tanam. Berdasarkan proses kali ini, dari 10 kg sampah plastik bisa menghasilkan 10 liter solar dan 1,1 kg residu. Jadi, inilah bukti bahwa memang benar melalui mesin jet plastik ini, 1 kg sampah plastik bisa menghasilkan 1 liter solar. Tapi, kalau memang masih pada nggak percaya, perlu bukti apa lagi ya?
Alright, speaking of which, we are now connected with Get Plastic Foundation Managing Director Ayu Pawitri, and she's in Bali. Hi Ayu, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hi, Ayu.
Hello.
Yes, so we've just been looking at the video. We heard that you could actually have that technology behind the conversion of plastic waste into fuel. So maybe you could tell us first, what's the idea behind it, or what the technology that you're using for this?
Okay, thank you so much. So actually, it was Get Plastic Foundation that founded in 2016, where we tried to research and develop the pyrolysis machine. It is the heating method that actually adapt from the Japan, and we tried to research more about this machine. And until now, we already have like 15 design of this machine. So the one that we saw earlier in the video is the 10 kilo capacity that we provide for the Jogja community, because there were still like a huge plastic waste problem there in Yogyakarta.
Okay, so it's called pyrolysis machine, you mentioned.
Yes, pyrolysis.
Okay. So maybe, we want to know how the technology works, I mean, in this pyrolysis concept.
Okay, technically, the pyrolysis machine is using the heating system. It's up until 300 degrees per process. So the first thing that we need to do is to separate the plastic waste that we already collect, and then we just put it in one reactor. And we use the heating system, and then all of the process that goes into one reactor will convert into gas, and the gas itself will cooling down, and then we're gonna get the fuel output, which is for now is diesel and then gasoline, and we also produce propylene gas, and the rest is the leftover. We call it black carbon residue.
Interesting.
All right, so we know how the process works, but can you tell us what types of plastic waste are most suitable for this process?
Okay, for this process, actually, it is a very specific plastic waste that we used to call it as a low value plastic. which for now we know that the high value plastic like the mineral bottles is easily to sell, but the low value plastic one like the plastic bags and then the instant noodle packaging and then sachet, it is very hard to sell or even bring to the recycling center. Therefore, we wanted to build this machine to process all of this low value plastic, which is not really valuable for the communities, but with this machine, we actually can make another output like the alternative energy that we can also use for our operational activity, like for the car, for the generator, or even for the machine that run with the diesel or the gasoline.
Right.
Interesting. So you've mentioned earlier about the result of the process of the plastic becoming gas, gasoline, solars, and two other end product. So maybe could you please elaborate more how's the process until from plastic become solar or gasoline? I mean, for common people, I mean, like me, for myself, like that's interesting. But at the same time, I'm curious. How could it be?
Okay, the key method was only the heating system. So we just focus on the temperatures. That's the first thing that we need to focus when we process the plastic waste. So technically speaking, like when we input the plastic into this machine, we need to maintain the temperatures until 300 degrees. And it actually for the 10 kilo capacity of this machine, we need like around 3 hours to process all of this plastic. And then all of this raw material of plastic will convert into gas, and the gas itself will like in a cooling down situation, and then after cooling down we can get the output like the diesel and the gasoline. So it's actually like the more like heating system.
Okay, so if I get it from your explanation, the output of this is gas and oil. Is that correct? There's an oil as well. Okay. Maybe the question for everyone is, how expensive is this? The output of this gas and oil compared to what we have out there?
When we compare the pyrolysis oil with the like diesel in market, we can say it is more likely the same with or even lower than the price in the market, because when we compare this pyrolysis oil with the oil in the market, we highly can guarantee that this pyrolysis oil is is the same with the Dex light.
Right.
So it's maybe around 15,000 per liter.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And what's the capacity that you are producing? Like, is it daily or is it monthly? The average.
For now, we for the Yogyakarta site, we process it daily because we wanted to collect all of this fuel for the festivals. We conducted the Get the Fest. It's the festival in Yogyakarta that will conducted in October this year. So we, for now, we already collect like 800 liters of the pyrolysis oil.
Okay. All right, so we know that you're based in Bali. So can you tell us what are the expected environmental benefits of this technology for Bali?
As we know that there's a lot of organization or even startups that try to convert the plastic waste into products. And as a Gap Plastic Foundation, we wanted to be more specific into low value plastic. So we give like a new approach to waste management system, especially for the end process. We wanted to like provide this technology in order to give the community more value in order to access more alternative energy. For example, like we can we're not only process the plastic, but we also can get like the fuel itself, which is very useful for the fisherman or even for the farmer, because they still use diesel for their tractors and for their goods, and this fuel is also suitable for their machinery.
All right, since you've mentioned just now about the use of this technology and the result for fishermen actually, so it's talk about the community. So maybe you can elaborate as well, how's the response of the community related to this program? Are they so happy with this? And also, what are the potential economic impacts of this technology on local community?
Yeah, as we already implement this pyrolysis project into 30 community area, we found that they are very happy, especially the community in the coastal area, because they can directly use the pyrolysis oil for their boats, which is for now is important for them because most of them are also fishermen. So they go, for example, like in Pramuka Island, we have one community assistance there, where we work with the fishermen communities. They collect, for instance, like 3 kilos of plastic from the ocean, and then they will exchange it with the pyrolysis oil for they will get 1 liter for their 3 kilos of plastic waste. So it is very valuable economics profit for them, because they can directly use the pyrolysis oil for their activity in the coastal area.
Yeah, so what are the long-term goals for the Plastic to Fuel project in Bali, if you may tell us?
We actually wanted to be more like inclusive in terms of alternative energy, because well, for now we see that a lot of like remote area in Indonesia is still they still need access for the energy, which is we found it very expensive when we talk about island, and then when we see the access their access to the alternative energy, it's very expensive, and we wanted to provide this machine for them to process their plastic waste and to get that energy, that alternative energy.
So basically you can cut the transport cost because you can actually produce it at their own place. That is great.
Right.
All right, so we know you started in Bali, and in the whole thing, I mean the whole process, the pyrolysis machine is actually working and you got everything going, but are there plans to expand this technology to other areas in Indonesia?
For now, we still focus on Bali first, but we also wanted to be to explore more. Like there's still a lot of island communities in Indonesia that we wanted to support this machine for them, and of course we still need to figure it out how to upscale this project so that all people can also access this technology, and then they can independently process their plastic waste and use it directly for their own needs. So it's a very long-term goals for us to provide this technology for a lot of communities around Indonesia.
Right. So we would like to know. Maybe this is the last question before
we let you go.
We let you go. Yes. So how's the response from the government? Is there any collaboration with maybe from
any support from the ministry, let's
ministry
say,
or government, local government, or any other obstacles actually, so that this technology and this innovation actually cannot be, let's say, easily implemented to other cities for now?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit tricky when we talk about government support, because back again, this pyrolysis project is still in a very small scale. So we wanted to focus more on research first, and then after that, maybe there will be a lot of support from government. But for now, for example, we also have been collaborate with Bapenas, which we conducted the program in Bangka Belitung. They have like a small fishermen communities where they also build the koperasi nelayan, which they can sell the pyrolysis oil, which is very good. And for long term, we wanted government to give a full support, of course, because we cannot upskill this project unless the government build like the policy for this waste to energy, because there's still a lot of pros and cons regarding this plastic waste to energy. So yeah, we'll see.
Well,
Interesting. I mean, policies is important as well for support because the technology is there, and we're glad to hear that this, let's say, the movement come from the research basis. I mean, this is really important, and also for the communities.
For the communities, it has impacts on the communities right away. So, well, hopefully you get the support that we need, because we want to see as well more pyrolysis machines out there in every province of Indonesia to help with the fuel, especially the change from plastic to fuel. Thank you so much, Ayu Purwari, for sharing with us from Get the Plastic Foundation. Thank you and good luck.
Bye.
Ooh, that's a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a breakthrough, right? Because
very interesting. I would never thought that you know from plastic you can produce fuel and oil.
Well, yeah. I hope it doesn't have any emission. It doesn't create any emission when it during the process. Right?
But, my suggestion, let's just turn on TV, watch 3-hour news show from 5 to 8. Then you can produce the pyrolysis oil.
Pyrolysis,
because they need 3 hours for process. Yes,
that's right. All right, viewers, we'll be back. We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back and see the stories will continue, and we'll talk about another sustainable invention. So don't go anywhere.